rather our net profit is $3,779.20. And we'll divide that by our starting cash, which was $46,487.26, and multiply that by 100. Happy to say that our ROI this week was 8.13%. How's it going? It's Rocky. Welcome to week number 23, where trading the index futures has become my main hustle. This is now my main source of income for the year 2023. And what I have up here is the chart for the entire week. And I specifically trade the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And I'll bring the lines here just to make it easier to see the trades that I took. So I took a total of about 10 shorts for the week. It was a great week. It's a perfect week because I had no losses, with an exception of a mark-to-market loss in the middle of the week here on Wednesday. However, even though I had a mark-to-market on that, I was able to recover it towards the evening. So net, that was a profitable trade. And I'm happy with the progress we've had the past 4 weeks. I actually made this post here on my Instagram where we've had a total of more than $15,000 for the last 4 weeks, which has exceeded what I used to earn for my W-2 for my gross paycheck. So I'm quite happy with that. It shows that it is possible if you treat trading as a business and you give it a full-time, full commitment, because it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. However, at the same time, this is just 1 month, right? The important part is it possible for me to keep doing this every month? And that's the challenge. And even though I am thankful about this, I am not taking it for granted, and I will always treat every week or every day, every trade with the focus that you could lose it all just right there. So that's a very important part. Always be on your toes and be able to respect the trade so you don't get any overconfidence, because being overconfident could be your undoing. Let me show you one of my trades, which is one of my more profitable trades for the week. This actually occurred during the Globex, and Globex means it's when you can trade essentially the US index during the Asia or EU hours. So I have that up in here on when that occurs. And lately, I've been staying up until midnight my time, which is when the EU market opens, only because I've had more comfortability with the movement and the hours during that time. It's not something I want to do too often, but just the past couple of weeks, it's been what's working for me, and I didn't want to break that trend. So I will zoom into that trade that I want to share with you. And this is just a strategy I use. It's something I've been using the past few years. There's no secret. It's very common in a way. I do have the description up here on the screen on when I like to enter or exit. I also have written down on the description on YouTube. And I have a lot of examples of these in previous videos, so please feel free to check those out. But if it's your first time seeing this, on the left side I have the time-based chart where each candlestick is 5 minutes. So the width of each candlestick is 5 minutes. And on the right side is a tick-based chart where I'm using Heikin-Ashi. And a tick base for each candle represents about 512 ticks, or that's 512 trades. And Heikin-Ashi just helps you look at the pattern. It does a bit of an average, but feel free to look up what that is. So with this one, I entered the trade at around 11 o'clock p.m. in the Pacific Coast. On the time-based side, a lot of that really is due to these two big candles here. This first candle had a range of 18 points, and the one on the right had a range of 29 points. And I decided to enter on this I shorted with 2 contracts at 33,585 just because of the movement, right? I was seeing that as a trend of going down, and the previous day on that Monday, the market was down, specifically the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So I had this conviction that it would keep dipping that evening when the EU market opened. And just based on the indicators, which is what I use, when the stochastic RSI is oversold, that is when I like to short. Again, that's contrary to the general convention, but that's how I do it. Believe it or not, that's up to you. I'm just saying this is how I use the indicator. And for the MACD, crossover had occurred. So it crossed down, which is a bearish signal to me. And it was starting to diverge. Those two lines were starting to diverge, and that is shown by the histogram. And that is why I shorted with 2 contracts. So that's on the tick-based side, and on the time-based side, pardon me. And on the right side is the tick-based side, where it didn't really show that, but at that moment that I did, because it was such a quick move, we were on the oversold side and it did cross over. But since indicators are a lagging indicator, that's something that you gotta be careful of. And of course, with this one, I've had to average up a little because my initial theory of it was good. I could have exited with a profit, but just that's just 4 points, and I knew that. Again, I believe my fundamental view of what was to occur, and any opportunities to go above my entry. I added one more contract at 595, and then another one at 605, and this is where it could have gone wrong, because after that 4 trades there, it dipped to a low of about 33,572, which I could have exited, but I guess I was too curious about the EU market open. So I wanted to wait till we hit midnight to see how the market will react. I honestly thought that it would go way down. So this is the part, it's knowing your risk, right? Top of the hour is always a tricky time because there's too many computers that are trading, many people just looking at candles on the hourly and make their decisions on that. And of course, the market is opening. EU market is a lot more significant compared to the Asia hours as far as the volume and the dollars that are traded. And because of that, it made me pay a little bit. It went above again, and I was underwater, so I added another contract. So for the next hour here, it was actually, if you're not used to taking risks, then you would be sweating bullets here, because I was underwater here. And a tip that, at least for me, what works is I like to read books or do other things when I'm doing this. I have a mental stop, of course. And again, it could have gone wrong, but again, I was following my conviction. And thankfully for this one, it worked out. We did dip on this one, and I do have alerts, so let me know when this occurs. And I finally exited about 2:15 a.m. and I exited at 33,551. So that's on the time-based side. But if I look in the tick-based side, I was more even-keeled, I guess, looking at the candlesticks here. If you look at the indicators, we were below the 0 line, so I had more confidence to hold on to that bearish or my short that I have taken, and thankfully that all worked out. So that's just a long explanation of one trade. Usually on these Friday content, I usually just go straight to the statement and show you how I did. But for this week, I figured I'd share an example because I haven't been doing too much of my live content. So if you do go to my channel, I do have a tab here for live content, which I do randomly. It's not very often, but I try to do it 15 minutes after the market closed, and I do live content for about 5 minutes. And during those content, I try to explain more of my trades on exactly what happened, what the news were during the day. So if you're more curious about those type of trades, please check out this tab here. So with this one, I will bring the calculator out to just calculate how we did on this trade. I'll put it right here. Our entry was, or we shorted at 33,595 for those total of 5 contracts, and we covered at 33,551. So that was a total of 44 points. However, since I traded 5 contracts, where with 1 contract of an E-mini, 1 point is equal to $5. So with 5, that's actually 1 point is $25. So you multiply that by 25, And that trade there, that started from 11 to about 2 o'clock, so 3 hours. That's pretty significant. That was a gross profit of $1,100 before commission and fees. And just because hourly, right, divide that by 3 hours, that would have been an hourly rate about $366 hour, which is pretty good from my perspective. But of course, I did this in the evening rather than the midnight, so it's your flexibility of when you're able to do things of this nature. But that's what I like about the futures market, because if you do have a 9 to 5, you could do this after work, in the evening, or early in the morning before your work gets started. Now for our account statement for week 23, we'll go through this. We're recording this a little earlier. It's Friday, June 9th in the year 2023. It's 3:53 p.m. And the statement that I'm showing here goes from Sunday, June 4th to today, June 9th. And going down the description, I do want to point out that I withdrew money this week. So moving forward, I'm hoping that we make enough profit to be able to withdraw to pay for our bills, for our sinking fund, as I like to call it. So here I withdrew $500, and then followed by another withdrawal here of $1,500. So that's a total of $2,000 that we withdrew from the account. So we'll add that back to our ending cash. And if we look at the amount here, you can see, like what I said, it's more or less a perfect week with all of my trades being profitable, with the exception here of the mark-to-market. So at the end of the US market, if you had an open trade, basically whatever is unrealized at that time becomes realized. So that's why it's negative 550. However, thankfully, I was able to recover that right back in the evening, as I mentioned. So really, out of the 10 trades, I had no losing trade. Now we'll bring the calculator to calculate how we did for this week. Our ending cash is $48,266.46. However, as I mentioned, we did withdraw $500 and also withdrew another $1,500. So our ending cash was actually $50,266.46. And we will subtract our ending cash for the week, which was $46,487.26. And for the week, happy for 4 straight weeks now, we have been profitable. And for this week, our net profit is $3,779.20. So that definitely is more than what my weekly paycheck used to be. So I'm quite happy with that. And something relatable, divide that by 40 hours, which is a full-time. If you're an hourly worker in the US, that's an hourly rate of $94.48. And lately, I used to do this a lot last year, but I like to measure now on what my ROI is, my return on investment, based on the percentage. So our starting cash, rather our net profit, is $3,779.20. And we'll divide that by our starting cash, which was $46,487.26, and multiply that by 100. Happy to say that our ROI this week was 8.13%. So that is my content. Thank you for the time that you've given to support my channel, to follow my journey, to show you that this is one of the income source that I have in pursuing my path to financial independence. Hopefully you like my content. If you didn't, give me another chance, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. All right, have a good one.